I had someone try to destroy my life recently. They tried to make my environment detrimental. They tried to make me upset by causing chaos all around me. And they would speak to me and look for mistakes that they can exploit. And somehow, some way, after enduring it for months, I finally went higher up and they taken care of the problem, which was them. And it turns out they were a bigger problem for many people, and they just pick and choose who they liked, and if you didn't meet their requirements, then they would not accept you. And you want to know why this person hated me? Because I told them a story of when I heard a voice, and the voice told me to throw the stick behind me and it would hit the person who was in front of me. And ever since I told that story, they said, "That's not God, that's the devil." And automatically they assumed that I was some devil hearing person and devil interacting person. So they wanted to attack me because they believe attacking me was attacking the devil. But they were wrong. I threw the stick away from the person and left it in the hands of the Lord. And the Lord decided the stick was going to hit the person. I didn't decide it. I had to let it go. So that's not a devilish action. That was the Lord taking action and taking it out of my hands and deciding to do that judgment. And we cannot say whether the judgment is righteous or not, because it's beyond our understanding. But trust me, the stick was like a dried up weed stalk, so it wasn't something that would hurt him for the long run. So if anything, it woke him up. He was angry. He was very angry, and he was so convinced that I ran up and hit him with a stick somehow, but I didn't. And I had to explain that. I had to explain that you really think I did that. And I told him I threw the stick behind me and it went over our heads and didn't hit him. But he didn't believe me. And I told him that story in the future too, when I met him. I don't know if he believed me or not, but that's what really happened. So yeah, sometimes me telling the truth about certain events in my life gets me into big situational trouble when I should just keep my mouth shut. And maybe I would have had a better relationship with these people, but it doesn't excuse their behavior of how they were treating me. And just know I'm just as confused about all this as anyone else is. It's not like I got it all figured out. When I witness stuff like that, it's shocking and it surprises me. But at the same time, I wonder, how did I know what was going to happen before it happened? And what voice was I hearing during those moments? Because sometimes that voice, I heard it during stressful times too. It would tell me to get up. When I fell in a sticker patch, it said, "Are you going to lay there or are you going to get up?" It didn't force its will on me. It just asked me, am I going to choose to stay there, lay there crying in a sticker patch? Or am I going to get up and fight my way through? And the voice made me so angry, I got up and fought my way through it, through the pain. I walked all the way to the end, removed the stickers from my feet, and then, oh, that was a painful moment. But it's not like these voices are bad. It's that was as a kid when I heard it clearly. Now it's kind of mixed. I hear negative spirits a lot more frequently, and I need to tune in to the positive spirits, or at least the neutral spirits. But yeah, if you're going through something hard, don't take their bait. If anything, it taught me, endure it patiently. Let them talk about you. Let people see for themselves through your actions who you really are. And then if it escalates to the point to where you can't handle anymore, go higher up and get someone else to handle it who has more authority and jurisdiction. And that's my advice, and that's how they handled it with me. And they seemingly got promoted, but they got promoted out of the place. So, but I don't know how much of a promotion it was. Either way, situation was solved. So just trust in God to handle your affairs. I know this is a long message, but just be aware your spiritual experiences may not come across as divinely inspired as you may think they would. Sometimes what excites you would cause another to become your worst enemy. So be careful who you tell your stories to, because they can't understand it, and when they can't understand it, they call it the devil. So, and they try to ruin your life. So just be wary of who you share your messages with in the future. I share them with everybody because I'm just happy to share my experiences to give people hope. But it also makes people think you're delusional, and it also makes people think you're dealing with the devil when it's things that end up hurting others. But he wasn't that hurt. He had enough energy to come back around and yell, and it woke him up. The stick woke him up. It was pretty intense. I wish I could share my experience through my eyes with you all, and then you would understand for a fact that there's more going on in this world than what we normally would think here in the West. And they already know this in the East. They have more spiritual interactions. And I had spiritual interactions in other places like Central America, where I ran away across fields and mountains and ran to a random place miles away, and I cried, then I prayed, and then I felt moved, where it's like my body moved on its own, and I moved up to this farmer, and this farmer had red eyes from, I guess, working or smoking something, and I told him my situation, and he got me home safely. Out of that whole situation, I didn't know where to turn or who to go to, and I couldn't speak Spanish, so I only knew a few words like agua and como del amo. I tell you what, if you lived my life, you would freak out, and you would be surprised that you're still here. I'm surprised every day I'm still here. I'm very surprised. Even when I almost drowned, I let out all the air. Don't do that. When you let out all the air when you're underwater, you'll sink really fast like a rock. And I paddled my way all the way up to the top really fast. I was saved. But yeah, I'm not the smartest person in the world. Sometimes I test things that get me into a lot of danger. So be careful out there. don't test things in deep waters.